Peace and blessings, soul family. I love you all. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today I want to talk about the Antah Karana, or our inner tool. And this Antah Karana is explained and connected to Sankhya and also to non-dual Shaiva Tantra. But these are four tattvas, or elements, of creation, and they have four different compartments. Buddhi, which is the higher mind, the intellect, what people in the West would think of as like the higher self. Then you have Ahankara, which is the ego, the aspect of self-identification, identifying with sense objects. Chitta, which I've heard compared to the subconscious mind. And it's where all the vrittis and sanskaras and stuff are within the mind. And then you have manas. Manas is the sensory mind, the yes or no mind. It has all of the inputs of the senses connected to it. So I'm going to read this little section, and then I'm going to go into each individual one. And this is from Tattva Shooting. Antah Karana is a combination of two Sanskrit words. Antah is inner, and Karana is tool or instrument. Antah Karana is thus the inner tool or instrument of man. It is comprised of four faculties: buddhi, the intellect; ahamkara, ego; manas, thought and counterthought; and chitta, memory. According to Tantra and Yoga, these four principles constitute the medium through which the consciousness acts. Antah Karana distinguishes human beings from the plant, animal, and mineral kingdoms. In these lower forms of life, Antah Karana exists in a dormant and tamasic seed state. These creations of nature do not operate from the level of the intellect, discrimination, thought, or ego, but from the level of pure instinct. For example, a dog will instinctively prefer meat to vegetables. He does not consciously discriminate one from the other. It is a natural instinctive process which governs his body. However, in the case of man, this faculty has gradually evolved to its present capacity. Man has emerged victorious over all other forms of life by the strength of this inner faculty, which has given him the power to reason, think, plan, remember, and enact. However, the intellectual supremacy of man does not in any way complement the full potential of the Antah Karana. It is just a mere glimpse of the power that it contains. If the performance of this instrument reaches its full capacity, man can not only control the inferior creations of nature, but also the latent forces within himself, which have the inherent power to create, preserve, and destroy. Thus, he would become a co-creator or an instrument, one with nature, replicating her cosmic processes. The yogis who have attained the power to do so achieve this rare feat by exploring the mysteries of the inner instrument, the Antah Karana. The consciousness of man, acting through the Antah Karana, interprets, classifies, conjectures, perceives, and cognizes all data related to the past, present, and future experiences. Everything you feel, see, do, or speak is a part of what is stored there. There is a part of the Antah Karana that has knowledge not only of this life and experiences related to it, but knowledge of the whole universe and cosmos. However, due to the grossness of one's awareness, the full potential of knowledge remains dormant and unmanifested, and it will remain this way unless one begins to refine the Antah Karana. Refinement of the Antah Karana implies tuning it to the high frequency of pure energy and consciousness so that we become aware that, in fact, what we are refining is creation of that same energy and consciousness. The physical evolution of man today stands complete. He may grow shorter or taller, fatter or thinner, but the next stage of evolution begins to the realm of consciousness. Sri Aurobindo talks about a superhuman race when man has achieved this higher state of mind. Superhuman race is a term which implies mental, emotional, rational, and above all, spiritual development of man at its zenith. At present, these faculties in us are only at the teething stage, and we are still grappling with their complexities. Much of the success we can have in this area depends on our abilities to purify, illumine, and unify the functions of the Antah Karana. The Antah Karana acts like a very fine transmitter which receives and transmits impressions. The clarity of precision with which it performs this act depends entirely on how refined your instrument has become. If it is tuned to the gross vibrations, then that is what the transmitter will reflect. However, if it is tuned to the subtleties of cosmic vibrations, then not only can you discover the underlying mysteries behind your own existence, but also the enigma which is underlying the whole cosmos. Man is not a separate entity suspended between cause and event. Rather, he is an integral part of the cosmic plan that has a role for each and every speck of creation. The Antah Karana plays a vital role in our pursuit to understand this role. This infinitely subtle instrument in which we ourselves have built through our fine sense of imagery during our journey through many successive incarnations. Thus, the Antah Karana contains the impressions which we carry lifetime to lifetime. Like a musical instrument, the Antah Karana is sensitive enough to pick up the subtlest vibrations, which it continues to do irrespectively of our conscious knowledge. You may not be consciously aware of certain impressions that you are forming within you, but the Antah Karana keeps vigil at all times. It is your Antah Karana to decide your course of action depending on the past experience of knowledge. What is recorded there may never reveal itself to you unless the clarity of cosmic awareness and the inner ear and eye, which can comprehend the subtlest vibrations of cosmic sound and vision, are attained. Therefore, we have not only to discover what is stored in the Antah Karana, but also learn how to control it. Tantra is the only science which is giving us the answer. Antah Karana is a tool through which consciousness is playing its cosmic game, or Leela. Consciousness is the same in everyone, pure, effulgent, and radiant. How it expresses itself depends on the precision, clarity, and perception of the medium through which it plays its game. The same idea, the same thought, the same action may occur in two different people, but the interpretation, enactment, culminating results will depend entirely on the level of mind, intellect, and ego of each person. So, yeah, I was just made a video just recently talking about how if you're not controlling and programming your mind, that someone else is. And this is talking about unveiling those sanskaras and those impressions that we find within the mind that are caught on repeat. Negative thinking, stressful thinking, anxiety, depression. These are all within the subtle body, within the inner instrument. But yeah, I'm going to make another video breaking down each of the individual 4 compartments. Let me see how much is right here. Let's see, I think I could probably squeeze this in real quick. Dimensions of the mind. In yoga, the mind is classified in 4 stages. Jagrat, which is consciousness. Swapna, which is subconscious or dreaming. Sushupti, which is unconscious or dreamless sleep. And Turiya, which is transcendental. Thus, yoga speaks of the fourfold mind as opposed to modern psychology, which has limited itself to 3 forms of awareness: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. The Antah Karana functions through the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious realms, creating gross, subtle, and causal experiences. As the Antah Karana has evolved out of the combination of the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, the quality of the experience is largely determined by the pervading influence of these cosmic principles. Manas, chitti, buddhi, and ahamkara behave differently under the sway of sattva as opposed to rajas and tamas, and thus manifesting differently in these 3 states of awareness. Manas and chitta, being a part of the consciousness and subconscious awareness, dominate the actions and thoughts in the jagriti and swapna states, or dreaming and waking. Buddhi and ahamkara are present in varying different degrees of refinement in the jagrati, swapna, and sushupti states. However, as these faculties have evolved out of each other and from the other same principle of Shakti, their interdependence and invasion on each other are inevitable. I'm probably going to quit right here because this video I want to be able to upload to both my channels. So just pause and read these bottom 2 paragraphs if you haven't. I love you guys. Peace.